What I'm going to focus today is the new learning management system. In fact, the new pathways, in my opinion, is so good, it is like using Instagram. How many of you all use Instagram? Did you all attend any workshops on how to use Instagram? I think no. You all just started using it, and the more you started using it, the more you all became familiar about stories and reels and how to connect to other people, and the same thing for Facebook. All it means is if you invest more and more time in the system, then it becomes fairly intuitive on how to use it. And that is perhaps my call to action to all of you all. Invest a little more time in Pathways Basecamp. I know all of you all are good at preparing speeches. You all just have an outline of a speech. You all prepare the speech, you go to the club, you schedule your speech, you deliver your speech. But if you invest some more time in the Basecamp before preparing the speech, understanding the objectives, you will find it is quite simple. And that's what my objective today is, to show you how simple it is and perhaps make use of some of the new features that have been rolled out in the Pathway system and make you all go to Pathways Basecamp similar to how you all go to Facebook every morning, go to WhatsApp every morning, and go to Instagram every morning. So what has changed in the new Pathways? First of all, while the education content itself has remained unchanged, we still have the paths, we still have the levels, we still have the projects. It's the user interface that has changed, which has been revamped to make it easy for members to navigate and complete their projects. And of course, there is a caveat there. The paths have been reduced from 11 to 6. And what might that mean for you all? And you can ask me the question, what happens to you if you're already doing one of those paths that has been discontinued? What's the user experience like? These are the new 6 paths that are retained: the dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. And these are the paths that have been discontinued. If you were doing one of these paths or are currently doing one of these paths, my only advice to you is try to complete this path as soon as possible, because you're not getting the full experience that you get with the other 6 paths. Having said that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the system itself. Besides the user interface of the pathways, there is a lot of new features that you can use in the club to give evaluations digitally, to request for feedback digitally. We see the Basecamp, we see the Learning Hub, we see the achievement board, and the new user interface has been revamped into this card kind of, the whole interface. So everywhere there are cards. You open a card to go to Basecamp, you open a card to open the Learning Hub, you open a card to go to your achievement board. Achievement board, by the way, is nothing but all the achievements that you have completed. For example, all the education awards, all the offices that you have held, any members that you have sponsored. You would find it here if you have sponsored those members. If you have supported any club as a club mentor and club sponsor, you'll find it here, sponsor, mentor. So everything is in this achievement board. But today, of course, we are more focused on the Basecamp and what is the change that has happened. Because in the old system, before October, when you clicked on Basecamp, it used to take us to another provider, and it was not very friendly. That is where we had to have a lot of training sessions for our members, how to go and start their paths, how to go and close their projects. But as I said, the new system is like Instagram. You open it, you go, and it is intuitive. You should be able to figure out, oh, this is the path that I'm working on. These are the paths that I have completed. So these are the 6 paths, I think 5 or 6 paths that I have completed. And this is the path that I'm currently pursuing, which is motivational strategy. And if you're a club officer, by the way, the new change is when you come to Basecamp, on top here, you should find Learning Dashboard and Basecamp Manager. So you can jump into Basecamp Manager while you are in the Basecamp. You don't have to log in separately as a Basecamp Manager. It's all accessible. So you can just click on Basecamp Manager. Unlike before, all the 7 club officers can come to the Basecamp Manager and they can check all the members, what are the paths they are currently enrolled into. You can check what are the paths that are currently in progress. So if you are a VP education, it's very easy now, by the way, for you to track who is going to give you the next DCP award. It's so simple because, as you will see in a few seconds, you can see each member, which path they are working on and how many projects within. Let me just make it a little bigger. You can see how many projects within that level they have completed. So this member has completed 2 out of 4 projects within level 1, which means I can push that member saying, okay, you have 2 more projects to finish and you will finish level 1. This member has finished the entire level. So now I can encourage them to start working on level 2. So this kind of dashboards have now made it, this is part of the new revamp. It's not just for the club members, even the club officers have now this amazing tool to track their member progress. Coming back to the learning dashboard, as I said, this is the path that I'm currently active. If you had more than one path that you are currently enrolled and currently working, again, you'll see them as cards. As I was telling you, everything is like cards. So you'll see 1 card for 1 path, 2 cards for 2 paths. The card that I'm currently on is motivational strategy. And when you click on motivational strategy, what it does is, like any learning management system, when you open your course, it will take you to the last point that you left. So if you were working through a project in that path, and you were working on particular page, it will take you exactly to that page. So sometime it can, if you have not been into this Basecamp for some time and you suddenly open the path and you figure out what's happening, what is this page? It's basically the last page you left. So you can continue the project exactly from that point. And if you look on the top here, it tells you the tree. Where are you? I am under motivational strategy. I'm in level 1 and I'm working on the project called writing a speech with purpose. And I'm on page 4 of 15. So this is a very nice way to navigate. So this was where I was at. So if I want to go to the next page, I just scroll down and I can click next. Or on the left hand side, as you can see, I can look at the different projects that are available. I mean, within that project, what are the various topics that are available? So I can simply click on the topic instead of going next, next, next. I can simply say, okay, part 4, plan your presentation. And it will take me to page number 10 of 15. So there are so many ways you can easily navigate now. Navigating through your project is now very simple. You come to the bottom, click next, scroll down, read the content, click next, and so forth. Like you used to do in the old Basecamp, but it's much easier. And this left-hand side also makes it very easy to go to a particular topic. A new thing that has been added for you to keep track of the projects as you complete them. So let's say I have done this project, writing a speech with purpose. I prepared my project. I created the speech. I went to the club and I delivered it. Now, when you come to the last, complete your project. Okay, at this point, they have added a new option for you to record the speech details. Like, what is the speech that you gave? So let's say I was talking about the power of exercise, and then I gave it today in my club, and the evaluator was Jamaluddin. And what is the resource? Writing a speech with purpose, and I can give some additional description. Now you may ask me, Kajitan, what happens if I give a speech in a club? I'm not a paid member of that club. Not a big problem. You can simply keep it empty and put in the request description. So for your record purpose, if you had given the speech in your club, it's very easy because you will find the details there. But if you had given the speech in another club, which you are not a member of, then I suggest you use this column to record so for future, you will have this reference, whenever you want to check, when did I give the speech? What did I talk about? Who's evaluated me? You have all the information and you can save log and that's it. So this is a new thing that make it easy for you to keep track of whatever you are doing. So navigating is very simple. So if I wanted to now check, for example, what are the topics in level 2, I can simply click on this on top here. There is home, there is motivational strategies. That's my path. I click on it. I can scroll down and see, okay, this is level 1. What's there in level 2? What's there in level 3? And I can go through any of these projects and I can check. So I want to prepare for this topic. So I can open it anytime and I can go through it, even though I'm not giving the speech maybe next meeting, but I can prepare myself by going through the material, taking down notes. So it will tell you everything about the active listening, what you have to do. Good thing is, if you want to again go on the left hand side and go to a specific topic, what is non-verbal cues, you can go and read it. So this is the main navigation of the new pathways, very simple. And this applies to, as I mentioned, to the 6 paths that are now going forward, what are available in Toastmasters. If you are still working on one of the discontinued path, you will not get the same user interface. It will still look similar to what you used to do before. Let's say I am here on the right hand side, my name. I can go back to the dashboard. 2 things that are quite nice in the new LMS. One is the achievements and one is the feedback. And I think the feedback, in my opinion, is one of the coolest thing. And I was telling you about that whenever a speaker gives a speech and there is a 1 minute of silence to give the feedback, this is where you will come. You will come here in feedback and you can say, I'm going to give a member feedback. So there are 2 types of feedback, evaluation feedback and member feedback. Member feedback is something that you can give anytime after the end of the speech, or even if the member has done something particularly nice. Let's say they have won an award, a PR award. You can simply come here and say feedback, member feedback, and you can say give feedback. You can also request feedback, by the way, if you want some feedback about anything, not necessarily your speech. You can just ask feedback. Can you please give me feedback about how I am doing? For example, my club member Jata is here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to member feedback, and I'm going to ask you to give me feedback as my role as a club president, right? So what I do is I select quit challenges and I will select Jata. And whatever feedback that she gives me, I can decide whether all the club members will see it or only Jata and I will see it. I can say send a request. And this request will go to her email. She'll say, oh, Kajutan Barreto is asking you to give feedback, and they can give feedback to me. And whatever feedback is given, it will appear here. Isn't that cool? That we get all the feedback collected in a central place, rather than giving feedback on a slip of paper. Similarly, if I want to give feedback to any member, I can simply click give feedback. Again, I'll give feedback for quit challenges, the same member, Jata, and she has done an excellent job in creating a PR article on her journey in Toastmasters. And while doing the feedback, I can also assign some badges. So I can say, oh, whatever you have done is very inspiring. And then I can say, this should be visible to all the club members and post the feedback. So now, whatever feedback I have given to Jata will appear on her profile. Other people can also see that feedback. In fact, all club members can see each other's feedback that is public. How do I do that? You can see on top here, you can say search. I can search for Jata, and you can see I can see the club member. I can see their profile, and I can see the feedback that is been given to Jata. When we talk about feedback, you can also give evaluation feedback. So now you don't have to print PDF files. You can click on evaluation feedback, And if you are a speaker, like let's say next meeting, I'm going to give a speech and Jata is my evaluator. I can say evaluation feedback and I am the speaker. I can scroll down and let's say these are all the projects that are available in your Pathways program. So let's say I'm giving a project on introduction to vocal variety. That's my project next meeting. So what I can do is I can click share. There are two buttons here, give feedback and share. So if I click on this button share, I can give my speech title. I can select the club. I can select my speak evaluator. I can select the date where I'll give the speech, and I can give some particular instructions to Jata saying, hey Jata, can you please focus on one of my weaknesses? So what I'm telling is, I'm telling her to evaluate my speech, but also pay attention to my vocal variety. And when I click send, she will get an email. And all she has to do is open the link that is there in the email, and then it will take her to the same place where she can fill up the evaluation. And how do we fill up the evaluation? You can click on this other button, which is not share, but give feedback. Because sometimes, speakers, they don't share the evaluation forms with the evaluators. Do you face these problems in your club? They come last minute. So even that is not a problem. What you can do is, as an evaluator, you can come here under feedback and you can select the evaluation feedback and then find the resource that you are going to evaluate. Let's say, as I said, let's say understanding your communication style. That's the project. You can directly click open, enter the speech title, enter the club, enter the member, the date, and then it will give you the same form that you get in a PDF file, but it is online. So that makes it very easy. And also the feedback that I give, the evaluation feedback, will stay in her profile so that she can access it anytime. She doesn't have to worry about keeping PDF files saved on the computer. I think this was my summary. The call to action is, try going into this Basecamp more often. You will find it very easy. That's my first call to action. Second, try to give feedback, either the speech feedback or general feedback, using the digital form that are available. And third, try to give each other badges, when you're giving feedback, so that it all appears in your achievement. So you can see these are all the achievements that I have in my journey in Toastmasters Pathways program, and all the badges that have been given to me: collaborative, as an evaluator, courageous, inspiring. So these are motivational badges that you can use to motivate your club members. And then you have all your certificates that you have achieved. You can download them anytime you want. And that is generally my introduction to the new Pathways system.